contact with the investigators, asking for additional information, forensic tests, and we work with them very closely. So given all of that, at least by comparison, we do much more, and we put a significant amount of resources, as all of you have seen, which is actually quite astonishing. I do go on and out sometimes, and every time I'm amazed at how many people are there and how thorough these are investigated.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
One other thing I should give credit to the Commission also is that at the end of these investigations, we're disclosing the abridged summaries and also the Chief's analysis of every categorical use of force, where most departments do not do that.
Those are made public.
I'm sorry, those are made public, as well as the district attorney's declination, if they have a declination of the case.
I don't have any specific questions. While I've been on the commission, I have had a lot of confidence in the work of the Force Investigation Division. I think that the Force Investigation Division gives us the evidence that we need to make our adjudication possible. I think the checks and balances that are important on a different level is the adjudication process and the criminal review process and then the disciplinary process. Those are the other checks and balances that occur, but we're all reliant on the work of the Force Investigation Division. I think that's what investigation thoroughness and care, but I have not doubted. I think that there is disagreement in the adjudicative process, the review process, and possibly the disciplinary process, which we're not involved in. But again, as for the quality of the investigation, what we are looking to review, I have a lot of.
And Commissioner, you actually raised an issue that also goes towards how the structure helps lend to that. Force Investigation Division is only doing the investigation. They're looking for the facts, the analysis, and collecting that. The actual analysis of it is actually done by the Use of Force Review Division, which is under a completely different command, and that is by design, so that the people who are investigating are not actually doing the analysis.
Yeah, I guess that's another layer that's important. So the Use of Force Review Board, which is also comprised of an at-large, it's also comprised of a group of individuals, which includes a civilian, at-large civilian, and a civilian member.
That's different. That's the board.
That's different.
Sorry, board rights.
What I'm speaking to is the division that's led by Captain McMahon that actually looks at the FID investigation and does the analysis, which comprises the chief's report that you get. That is under a completely different command structure, so there's no potential conflict. FID is not going to opine that this was in or out of policy. Use of Force Review Division, based on the facts, will make a recommendation. After also the Use of Force Review Board, which is, I think, partly what you're referring to, does an analysis of it gets the full FID presentation that you see in closed session.
I want to go just back to the death notification procedures for a second. Obviously, I've noticed any time when we have any issues that cross departments, there's always room for issues to come up that are not as easily solvable if it's all within our department. And so my question is, obviously in the corner is not even a city department, it's a county department, which creates another level of potential issues. We obviously had a recent issue with really an unconscionable delay of letting Ms. Wilson's family know about her unfortunate in-custody death. Is that an anomaly? Was that unusual for that kind of delay, or is it indicative of a bigger problem of when we have these issues of the corner not timely letting family members know?
It was 21 days.
I'm not sure that historically I have not heard of that occurring. I have heard of situations where they've had difficulty not identifying or locating a next of kin. Those have happened before. In this particular case, obviously, I don't know the details, and we probably would not be able to comment until the investigation. However,
if you have a comment, please submit a card and let the speaker.
However, based on this and this concern, one thing that we plan to do is to approach the coroner's office to see if maybe we can have a shared responsibility a little broader than what we currently do. We understand they, like many agencies, have resource constraints and other things, but we recognize the importance of providing the next of kin notification, as anybody would want. And so we plan to approach them to see if there is maybe certain circumstances where we could provide that notification, provided that we know for certain that that is the person and who that person is, and where we have access to that information. Because as I said, sometimes we wouldn't. That could be subject to an MOU or something that we can look at, and also looking at what do other departments do, large departments. So we plan to explore that. Now, I can't guarantee that would happen. That's obviously the statutory responsibility, the obligation of the coroner, and whether they want to do that is up to them.
And also I'm sure the board of supervisors also.
Yeah, correct.
And are they aware of this issue and the scrutiny that it's been getting?
Yes, sir. I've been kind of with the coroner's office, and they're going through their protocols and to determine where the problem lies. Again, it's a huge process for them, and the limited resources they have. I know that they're understaffed at this point, so I'm not. Again, talking to the chief, one of the assistant chief investigators, he's looking into see if there's any remedies or anything else. Like Mr. Oliphant is indicating, we're also opening some dialogue so that we can determine whether or not we can do those notifications when it's applicable and when we've made those positive identifications of the individuals.
When would be a reasonable time for you to report back on the status of those conversations with the coroner's office?
I think we would, we could probably, certainly informally we can report where we are, and then perhaps from that point we could schedule something more formal. I don't want to, we have to approach the coroner.
Sure.
Obviously this is a very sensitive issue. If it's okay with the commission, I'd like to reach out to them to see what's feasible, maybe informally notify you, and then if there's an opportunity after that to explain what's going on, we could do that.
Okay, that's fine. Any other questions or comments on this item? Do we have any?
Yes, sir, we have 22 comment cards. Would you like 2 minutes or 1 minute?
I think this is an important enough item to give everybody the full.
We need 5 minutes.
Oh, call the names up 5 at a time. The first 5, Prentice Jenkins, Dalmi Perez, Pastor Q. John Marie, Melina Abdullah, and Nicole Thomas.
Prentice Jenkins, published the City Life newsletter, activist since 1991.
So, I'm sorry, just hold the clock for a second. Since there are 22 speakers and I'm giving everyone the full 2 minutes, I'm going to hold any questions until the end. And there may be certain, actually I'd appreciate if you could continue to sit here. And we will attempt to aggregate some of the questions at the end, if appropriate, and ask them at the end. But I'm not gonna have these two gentlemen engage in a back and forth, because I do want to make sure everybody has their full 2 minutes, and we have another item on the agenda that's very important as well. Thank you. Okay, you can start the clock.
Okay. I want to thank the officers for bringing that information in. It was incredibly informative, and I learned a lot. I now know who's responsible for covering up deaths in the police department now. It's not just the chief. It's the Force Investigation Department. A few years ago, the Klan hung a black man, right? So I got a bunch of activists together and went to the Klan and said, can you engage in an investigation to find out who hung that black man? And they said, without a doubt, yes, we will. We have a force investigation today. And we will absolutely find out who hung that black man. Now, this Klansman was holding a rope. He was the one holding the rope. Come on, people. Cops, investigating cops, Force Investigation Division. Whoa. Good God. I mean, thank you for coming in here today. I mean, can I get a copy of that? I mean, these people just told us who's responsible for the cover-ups. Force Investigation Division, lieutenants, sergeants. This woman will never get justice according to what I heard today. That's Waukesha Wilson. She died in custody. Or Sandra Bland, Ezell Ford, Angie Guzman, Charlie Africa. They're never going to get justice based on what I just heard here today. None of them are ever going to get justice now because you put the right people on the job. The Force Investigation Division. You know what they do? They take that camera, look at it, and say, yeah, the cop did it. Take this camera, take it down, and then it's destroyed in the ocean.
Next speaker.
Dalmi Perez.
Good morning, Sandy Perez. So, how fitting and how shameful, how utterly shameless, actually, that you would begin this discussion, this information session of how you cover up murders within the department by showing the most overtly racist video of a simulated shooting of a black man holding a gun when the majority of black men that you have killed in this city have been unarmed. Have been unarmed since 2004. Over 2,000 shootings, officer-involved shootings in the county, and only one prosecution. And you expect us to believe that you're doing your job well and that you're going to bring justice to those people that have been murdered? So I want to take the rest of my time to let you sit with that and to think about the fact that you're here to answer how Waukesha Wilson died in custody, and you say, I don't know. You have no answer. So we're going to say her name.
We said he didn't know about the case.
Say her name.
Waukesha Wilson.
Say her name.
Waukesha Wilson.
And now we're going to sit here in silence for a minute thinking about Waukesha Wilson and the answers that her mother deserves.
This is a fist for people, human rights with justice.
Say her name.
Waukesha Wilson.
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 Say her name.
You interrupt one more, I'm going to ask you to leave.
Waukesha Wilson.
Say her name.
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 Waukesha Wilson.
You can take them out.
Oh, so now you like arrested senior just
I'm going to ask you to go out too if you can't be quiet.
Whoa, Michelle, you just saying you
Go
just
ahead.
showed up.
Next speaker, Pastor Q. John Marie.
You sit down.
I've asked, is that person up? Sir?
You asking me to leave?
He said, Mr. Key.
What did he do? Wow. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name.
Go ahead.
Say her name. Say her name. Say her name.
Okay, keep going. Welcome, sir.
Pastor Q from the Church Without Walls, Skid Row, and also the Black Jewish Justice Alliance. There's a text in the Bible that says, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." In a society where a mother shows up to court only to find out her daughter never shows up, how can she be comforted? In a society where she has to go to look for the authorities in order to find out her daughter has been dead for days, how can she be comforted? This is the usual disregard for our community. When Charlie Africa was killed on Skid Row, we went to the mayor, police, and we brought rabbis with 51 signatures from rabbis all across the city and the Skid Row community to ask to come and meet with us. No one showed up. We haven't heard a word. She will not be comforted because this is the disregard for our lives. All of those statistics, okay, that's great. But what about compassion? What about considering people in the community who are affected? You can't go meet in a boardroom and comfort a community like that.
Right.
You have to go outside of the boardroom to comfort the community. We have a church called the Church Without Walls. There's a reason for that. Because without walls, you're forced to deal with the people. The walls protect you from dealing with the issues in the community. You can't understand black rage because you are used to controlling the environment that you're in. Come outside to an uncontrolled environment and talk to people.
Right. Yeah.
Jesus wasn't afraid.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
He was not afraid. He was not afraid to do anything who were hostile. We can learn something from that.
So this morning, I got a call from Riddell Jones' husband. And he talked to me about why it took him so long to call us. That he's been dealing with his own grief. He's been dealing with trying to take care of the 2 children that are left without their mother. And he was reminded that Riddell Jones was gone over this weekend, especially because it was Mother's Day. Today we walked in with Lisa Hines, the mother of Waukesha Wilson, who has been here every single week since her child was killed. And when we come in, we're met with disdain. We saw Matt Johnson, who's now noticeably absent, right? We saw him walking in with a guard as if he needs to run from the community. We heard excuses being spewed about why he can't meet with us because he doesn't want to meet with more than 2 people per organization. Why? The truth is you all are supposed to be here to be representatives of the community. Instead, you're buying into a policing system that is fundamentally corrupt. This oversight that was being pointed to, the oversight was there because you were proven to be a corrupt system. You didn't voluntarily say, we want DOJ oversight. This is the truth of who the LAPD is.
Yeah, right.
We protect our own. Let me tell you what this means. It means not us. It means them. It means the first 2 rows that are more than a symbol. The reason that they sit in the first 2 rows is to keep us back and to put themselves forward. We're saying you have a chance to do something different, and I know you don't want to look Steve Soberoff because just like Donald Trump, you think that you are bigger than us, but you are not. You are not. You are part of a fundamentally corrupt system which includes you. Stop being that. What Pastor Q was talking about is God will be visited upon all of you. Whether or not you want to hide behind and like you don't hear me, whether or not you think inviting people to breakfast is enough, whether or not you think asking Lisa Hines. Say her name!
What is the process? These guys are giving a presentation. This is a new KKK police department.
Always been a fucking KKK. Look at the protectors. Look at this guy. This is always a fucking KKK. Lying motherfucker.
Say her name.
Keisha Wilson.
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 No justice,
No peace. No racist police. No justice. No peace. No racist police. No justice. No peace. No racist police. No justice. No peace. No racist police. We don't need Nazis in blue uniforms.
Is there like soliciting?
Nazis in blue uniforms. Damn, ICE got it. Police cat. Unarmed civilians. Unarmed civilians. Unarmed civilians. We got to bring all these kids. Need a civilian board. Civilian board. Not a federal board. We need a civilian board.
I know we're going to get answers from a forced investigation.
Community members. Oh, community leaders. We have to ask you to vacate the lobby.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter now.
Black lives they matter now.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter now.
Black lives they matter now.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter now.
Black lives they matter now.
Justice, no peace, no racist police. No justice, no peace, no racist police. No justice, no peace, no racist police. No justice, no peace, no racist police.
So the LAPD reporter is on the other side of the over there. I think Melina was arrested.
It's Nazareth.
Whose face? Our face. 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 Whose face? Our face.
Police department's lobby. It's not your lobby, it's the police department, so you can't call it your lobby.
Our budget. Whose budget? Our budget. Whose budget? Our budget. Whose budget? Our budget.
Free Melina! 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 Free Melina!
They arrest her because she gave her truthful opinion.
Stop arresting our
They arrest her for that.
Let them leave our meeting. We don't need you Texas police. We don't need you.
They arrest a black woman for speaking out the truth. She didn't attack anybody. No violence on anybody. What the hell was her crime? What was the arrest for? She committed no crime. And all your police support that. You're trying to criminalize her.
Hey, you know, if you're just tuning in, we're live here in the lobby at LAPD Police Department. There was the police commission meeting. They cleared the room.
Free Melina! 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 Let her go! 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 Let
So much for the de-escalation tactics. Just jump on a woman. 4 cops. 4 cops just jumped on her.
4 to what? 4 to what?
What do you have to say about that?
4 to what?
They were violently, the cops were getting violent with Melina when they arrested her.
Free Melina! Free Melina! Free Melina! Free Melina! Hold on.
Hey, hold on. You're talking to him. You're not talking to anyone else.
We want that video for Waukesha Wilson's death.
Stop protecting police. You don't need to protect the police league. They need to be disbanded. They're a criminal group. They're a racist group. They're all Nazis. You don't care about black people? Y'all want to kill black people.
The white supremacist racism is coming out. It was,
I bet you won't shoot
you
no
know,
white
it's
boy
right
on
on the surface now. You have exposed, we have exposed you.
Traumatize a white boy getting shot by the po-po.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. My sister.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. My sister. Black Lives Matter. 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 My brother. Black Lives Matter. 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 Black Lives Matter.
You're not the only one to take care of their own. We take care of our own too. Waukesha Wilson. We say on board. Charlie Hour.
We take care of our own needs. You take care of murdering police. That's what we take care of our own needs. That even if police murder innocent people, you take care of them.
We take care of our own. Wow, look at that.
So all of this is because Steve Soberoff's little immature ADHD childish temper tantrum demanding that Melina be thrown out of the room instead of just letting him speak.
Angie Guzman. We take care of our own.
So they have Sister Melina on battery on a police officer. Battery on a police officer when they grabbed her. And so we need to make sure. We need to make sure. You protect your own. We need to make sure we get the let her go. We need to let her go. 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 Drop the charges. Drop the charges.
said don't touch. They still
Brother, great singer. Brother, great singer. Let her go. Brother, great singer. Let her go.
Drop the charges now. Drop the charges now. No, Mason said he's going to give us notice, not you. Drop the charges now. We're tired of getting false charges on our community leaders and members.
So,
tired of these false charges. You got to put a false charge on y'all. How about that?
So we need to get
y'all used to put false charges on each other. Instead of putting false charges on us, charge each other. Y'all breaking the law for not letting us continue to be in the community.
That's why Matt Johnson ducked that sober up.
Well, we believe it's right. Y'all killing it. Y'all just killing it. Get away with it.
That is Waukesha Wilson. She died in custody.
Say her name.
Waukesha Wilson.
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 Drop the charges on Melina. Drop the charges on Melina. Drop the charges. The false charges. Those are false charges. Y'all should be going to jail.
For social media, Melina Abdullah has been arrested, charged with battery. We need folks to put it out on social media. Did any release?
Don't put the video up.
They arrested.
No, we need to have her released.
Melina. She's on live stream.
She's live stream.
Board of Police Commission.
I don't really have very much of it. Like,
holding Melina hostage, man.
Professor.
I was in the back, I couldn't really see.
She's a professor. The world should know.
That's a false arrest. It's a false arrest, a false detainment. False documents, falsifying reports, a long list.
But people can tweet that, like, Melina
has been
Abdullah,
arrested,
of
and
Black Lives
assaulted
Matter.
by LAPD, and it's being charged with battery.
And I have, like, the footage when they took her out the door, and they were jerking her, like, violently.
Yeah, they always do.
Y'all get paid. Talk about the DA. Y'all
Is
get
that
paid.
your personal camera? Is that your personal camera? You're taking pictures with us?
Take one of that right there.
That is illegal.
She died in custody. Take a picture of Waukesha Wilson. She died in custody. That young lady's dead. Take a picture of her. You're going to take a picture?
Yeah. False charges. False arrests. Y'all should be going to jail for all these false arrests. Falsifying documents. Why nobody going to jail for that?
Covering up criminal activity.
Yeah, exactly.
6 weeks. They've been waiting 6 weeks for that video from the jail of Waukesha Wilson's death.
Falsifying documents.
Don't worry, brothers and sisters. We have a savior, the Force Investigation Division. They're going to investigate it. Don't worry. They're going to investigate it.
They
Don't worry.
themselves.
They'll take care of
They've
it.
been doing that for the last 50-some years.
They wouldn't lie. They're cops. Cops don't lie. Yep. I watched a lot of 1 Adam 12. I was a kid. They never lied. Yep. I watched Barney fight. He never lied. Yep. Andy Mayberry. Cops never lie. So they're going to tell us what happened to Waukesha Wilson.
Why they eat their donuts? Come on, bro. They just bought 2 dozen.
Everybody's gone.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter now.
Black lives they matter now.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter. Black lives they matter now.
Black lives they matter now.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter now.
Black lives they matter now.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter now.
Black lives they matter now.
Black
lives they matter now.
Black lives they matter here.
Black lives they matter here.
Black
That
lives
was,
they matter.
Black lives
Yes. Well, I'm at the Los
Go to the website.
Hey, you got your footage? Yeah, go to the website. What up? All right.
Okay, guys, I'm probably gonna stop live streaming now. If anything further happens, I'll come back live. So leave your browser open, and I'll be back. I mean, I'll be back if anything more happens. Bye.